I think we're up and running. Good evening, everyone. How's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by. So we've got Boombox Ajax already in the chat. Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. How's your week been treating yourself? Oh god, am I going to have double? Don't want double the audio. That's a close one. There we go. That should be all sorted. Okay. Stuck in breach jail. Is he currently breach jail? I take it right now. To be fair, considering the has the event actually gone live already? For the... Let's have a quick check. Because I've got a couple of mods that I do actually want to do and get sorted. No, not just yet. I assume that's tomorrow then. That's a shame. I really could have done with getting those sorted today. Is what it is. To be fair, might join you for a little bit in terms of like trying that out. After we've got like dailies and all that sorted. Got 200 Ajax mods waiting to roll. Jesus Christ. Wait, I take it you've bought each of those for roughly like 10 cal a pop. I can't imagine you've got lucky enough to be able to farm for 200 Ajax mods. Who have you managed to steal those from? Actually, to be fair, that's not too bad. Per 6. Have everyone just given up on Ajax mods? Like, what's... Have we reached that level already? Crazy think he got his buff and everyone was like, oh, he's crazy strong, and now all of a sudden, I don't want to play Ajax. Make your mind up. What are our thoughts on our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ? Oh, that's a subject for some kind of people in the chat. Well, Dan, you know that I'm not necessarily the religious type, so I've also never met the guy, so I can't really pass judgment on him. Mods in TFD. Oh, we've got Mem over here. How's it going, Mem? Thank you so much for stopping by. How's your week been treating you? He's still top 3. No, of course he is. Yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, you know, Serena's going to take a long time to get dethroned or anything like. Even if she does get dethroned. Are you serious? Why are you the only place that? Really? Say that. And I must admit, running this once is so much nicer feeling. It's weird that I'm actually happier that there's less content to run. Just got your PC waiting for monitors and mousepad. Okay, well, have you got like an estimated date as to when those might be turning up? And an Outriders stream went, to be fair, it's actually been something I've been considering, because I did have a quick look, since I've got Twitch open. Let me see what we're looking at for Outriders currently. A grand total of 4 people are currently watching Outriders right now. 141k followers in all of Outriders and only 4 viewers right now. So it has weirdly kind of crossed my mind there to be able to do like an Outriders stream one time. But I might actually focus on getting an affiliate first and then look to be able to do something like that. Just because I would love to be able to actually return back to it. Also, I think I'm... Let me just quickly remind myself. I think I'm like 0.3 hours away from hitting like 700 or something like that. Oh no, 0.01 hours. I literally could just play for a couple of minutes and it will tick over into exactly 700 hours. So... I would love to go back to Outriders, to be fair, just to be able to actually experience like what the old days were, because I haven't played it since the 5th of March 2024. Bloody hell. Ugh. Start of the content journey as well. Sunday or Monday? Oh, that's not too bad then. So, I mean, it gives you plenty of time to... Well, you've got a TV, haven't you? You could just hook everything up to your TV, get everything all sorted, downloaded, everything like that, and then all you need is just your monitors, and when they arrive, you can get everything sorted, I guess. Bids, good to see you stop by. Thank you so much. How's your week been treating you? Resonate with the above comment? Yeah, I mean, weirdly enough, you're probably going to find a lot of people in chat are going to be really enjoying Outriders. Maybe even known me from that kind of time period. If not, then just for the fact that Outriders was so similar to TFD, or the other way around. Yeah, would be nice to revisit. I could, but I don't want to. I mean, at that point, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, sure. You could have everything ready for when everything turns up, but you've chose not. Outriders Guns and Gun mods were so big, it absolutely was. Especially seeing some of them were so much better than the... There was a clear distinction between what mods were actually good and what weren't in that game. What did you have? You had... was it Moaning Winds? Was the reload one? You had the Shadow Comet, I think it was, which ended up being really, really good on shotguns for a long time. What Fortress was really good with... Death Shield. Jesus, the fact that I can remember all this is actually kind of blowing my mind right now. Dark Sacrifice was going to be your best firearm one, if I remember right. There were so many good mods in there. I can't believe they just kind of like chose not to do a second one in the end. Or, well, I say they chose not to. I mean, it's all Square Enix. Because it's not a Final Fantasy VII remake. Why would I do another game that isn't Final Fantasy VII? I don't know. Honestly, how many times do they think people are going to play Final Fantasy VII? Let's get through here and we can catch up a little bit on the chat. Nope. I will be very curious to see what they're actually going to replace this with. But in saying that, I kind of miss the days where this was a little bit of a challenge. Ah, well. Back when you had to earn your Haley parts. Not Haley's parts, you had to earn Haley's parts. There we go. That's my 10 mil for the day. Right, where are we up to? Only 2 choices of a gun, but so much creativity. Yeah, no, absolutely. The fact that you can only change one of the mods as well, which kind of sucked for legendaries in most parts, which did make purples so much better in most cases, which is why, what was it, the Earthborn Assault Rifle was like one of the main go-to picks for Technomancer Firepower. for so long, just because it had better chances, better rolls, all that kind of stuff. But to be fair, when they introduced Apocalypse and all that kind of thing, that was a lot of fun, especially with the Apocalypse mods. I was all for that. Gunishment's here. Thank you so much for stopping by. How's your week been? Got a comment of, what do you think the mission board is going to be? Well, if anything, we've kind of got a bit of a brief look into possibly what we're going to be dealing with. So if you head over to Eckert, however you pronounce the person's name that's over here. I have a feeling that this is just basically teasing what we're actually going to be getting. Because we've got all these different things where complete an infiltration missions, complete special, complete purge, complete intercept battles. I think this is essentially kind of hinting what we're going to be getting with the special orders and all that kind of thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, the rewards, if you haven't got all this stuff, is pretty damn good. The fact that you can complete this several times over guarantees you a Thunder Cage, guarantees you Freyner, guarantees you Glay, guarantees you Last Dagger, etc, 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 all the way through. I mean, the fact that you can get Fallen Hope is insanely good from just being able to complete like a couple of missions, and the fact that you then get these for some of the harder to obtain pieces. I mean, I kind of missed out on getting my last little bit for the Deus Ex, which means I'm going to have to farm Void Vessel a little bit more. But I have a good feeling that this is essentially what we're going to be dealing with. The fact that you just kind of choose a mission, that's what you go out and kind of do, and then you get to either choose a reward, or it essentially just gives you like a bunch of rewards, similar to like what we get from the reinforcement, not the reinforcement, the invasion stuff that we get. That's my best guess. I think that's potentially what we're going to be dealing with, because I don't understand why else they would introduce this. And I think they might be taking this away. I think this is just kind of like a time-limited thing, if I remember right. Which, if that is the case, it might coincide with the time as to when these orders get changed over to like a mission board or something. It also gives Eckert a reason to actually be here, I suppose. Because I don't know anyone that's ever clicked this mission and actually helped anyone with support requests. So it would be interesting to see if that's the route that they're going to be going down. But that is going to be my best guess. But if we've learned anything from the TFD devs, it could just be anything, let's be completely honest here. You know, they find a way to surpass or beat our expectations in any kind of way that they can, to be fair. Right, so that's dailies in terms of gold. What did that put me up to? Almost 30 mil. It's probably the highest I've had in a long time. What are we dealing with over in... I could probably do with my Ancestor mods and get those ready for tomorrow in terms of re-rolling. Mem's going to be right back, fair enough. Devastator is what Ajax always wanted to be. Devastator was insane when Apocalypse tiers got added in with... can see it. World Slayer, that's the one. Yeah, those extra nodes that it got, the Devastator easily got catapulted from worst class to best class in the whole game. Being able to destroy everything in 3 smashes of an earthquake is just downright disgusting. Yeah, it was nice and refreshing to see Devastator get so much of a glow up though. You know. Is it Crater? I mean, I could probably run a few Craters, get a few things here. I'd have to go through my screenshots from 5 years ago. I don't remember gun names anymore. There's going to be some that have been etched into my head, because I did like a gun guide series when it first came out. That was like my first introduction into the whole. Could probably find it. Where's the very first one? Oldest. Damn, we actually did all the videos and everything like that before, like the music videos and all that kind of thing before we went into Outriders. Yeah, Golem's Limb was my first one that I ever did. And somehow, and to this day, I still don't know how I managed to do it. I managed to talk about it for 14 minutes 47. And then I learnt my lesson, and then from that point on, they were much shorter. So I don't know how I managed to do that. What was I talking about for 14 minutes and 47 seconds? I'll tell you what, here you go. You can have a look at them. Look at those thumbnails. Oh, back in the day. God. Good times. Good times indeed. Let's take that off. Eisenford's here. Hey, finally I managed to catch Ray's live. How's it going, my good sir? I am all good, thank you there for Eisenford. How's everything on your side? How's your week been treating you? I am just kind of ecstatic to get back into actually doing the stream again. It's did one on Monday, thoroughly enjoyed it, and enjoyed it so much I just had to make sure I do another one. So here we are, and that's the that's how it all kind of came to be. What are we dealing with here? Dealing with a dire, fair enough. Drop that. Oh, what we got here? E-Nemesis has just sponsored the channel. I need to remind myself as to... the EW Spider has also sponsored the channel. Oh. It's not giving me much of a notification as to what that actually means on, on OBS, but we'll have a... I wonder if this is all the member sponsorships that's finally catching itself up. From when Bids did it on Monday, because I don't recall it actually doing anything at the time. If it isn't, that's insane. All this stuff is coming through. And it stopped. Cool. For a second there, I did start to worry. Not too shabby. It was never bad, just not Pyromancer mobbing level. I mean, Pyromancer was all well and good, but let's be honest here. If we're talking mobbing now, Technomancer pretty much had that down as soon as World Slayer came in. Because with the cold snap and being able to do like the frozen kind of like nuke type build, there wasn't much that was really able to kind of like keep up with that. In fact, I'm genuinely surprised that never actually got nerfed in the end. Wasn't great for bossing, but it was definitely fantastic when it came to mobbing. To be fair, there was a lot of interactions that probably shouldn't have made their way into the actual end product, but hey-ho. Weirdly, it's the kind of power fantasy that we're okay with, compared to what TFD has become so far. Ooh. Anyway, what we got here? Gravity Leap was so fun. I liked Gravity Leap. In fact, there was I made quite a few numbers of like niche builds, like support builds. I made a Reflect Bullets build the one time. That was a lot of fun. Just basically making everyone hit themselves. So it was great. What wasn't like the fastest thing, and it did require them to, you know, actually hitch it to be able to get it to work, but it was a lot of fun to be able to kind of pull that one off. That's the Outriders days. You had a lot of fun. You had the ability to actually go into other things. Honestly, I genuinely, if I had the following to be able to pull it off, I would honestly love to be able to like pull off a day where like we get like a whole community together all playing Outriders and just increase like the player count by 500% or something like that. There we go. Do you think they'll start adding red mod specific melee? I think one of Keelan's red mod next month will be melee based. Are we talking red mods that would actually go onto the weapon itself, or are we talking more characters that will actually start being geared towards being melee focused? Because I suppose those are two different questions. I think obviously they would have to add in a new system if they did want to go down the adding red mods to melee themselves. Because obviously we don't have a space for that currently. I think it would be funny if they added in a... I don't know why I've turned that off. The ability for like ancestor mods for melee weapons. I think that's probably a step too far if they start going that route. But saying that, seeing like the carnage that ancestor mods have done so far, I wouldn't be too surprised. But it would be nice to actually start seeing a few more Descendants actually get like use out of melee mods. I think my biggest gripe so far is the fact that we do have like a section of unused mods that are just kind of like, you know, been in the game since like launch and stuff like that, but for whatever reason are just, they don't synergize with anything. They don't like, you know, they're not strong enough to actually be like viable and all that kind of thing. I would absolutely love to see them buff like sub attack mods. So I think that's like the main category of stuff that we haven't actually like dived into just yet. Melee was fine and all that kind of thing, but if they actually added it so that it did sub attacks and got the benefits of like what those mods can actually pull off and everything like that, I think it'd be kind of cool, because there's a lot of fun ones like knockdowns and you know, charge attacks and what else is there? There's some like fun ones that increase like skill attacks and stuff like that that we could probably just like mess about with. But for whatever reason, we're just not how to do that just yet. It does feel like a lot of stuff has just kind of like been forgotten about. Ah, well. Fingers crossed I remember it at some point. Yeah, get some decent runs. Came back home from the gym as soon as I saw this on YouTube. Was on the treadmill. Thanks so much for stopping by there, Fanassi. I mean, workout's important. I mean, you didn't have to do that just for little old me, but I do appreciate you stopping by. How's your week been? More importantly, how's your workout been? I mean, how far did you get on the on the treadmill? What am I trying to get from Crater? Nothing really. I mean, I'm just kind of like farming for a little bit of what should we call it? Blue juice? Ancestor mod juice? I just thought I'd just run it a couple times. I ran it the first time just because obviously you get the bonuses with the ancestor mods and trigger mods and all that kind of thing, but just enough. To be fair, I'll probably only run this one or two more times just to warm it up. Talking mostly before the world slayer, only pyro with a car assess was able to loot. Oh no, of course it was. Yeah, 100%. Especially debuff pyro as well was like one of the best ways to be able to clear Eye of the Storm. In fact, if you didn't have a debuff pyro, people would just leave. Official Res on YouTube is over here. Thank you so much for stopping by. How's it going with yourself? Appreciate you you being here. How's your week been treating you? A few of those. Yeah, might make this the last one and then start going for the ancestor mod farms with like sanctuary and stuff like that. There we go. Right, let's just teleport out of it. What's she shooting at? There's nothing there. Transcendent mods like Blood and Iron. I think... Now, we're getting into fun territory there, because I think Blood and Iron, I think the developers might have learned their lesson with that, to be completely honest with you. The amount of tuning that Blood and Iron's to have, and obviously with the backlash in the community and all that kind of thing, it is a very fun mod. It absolutely was worth bringing into the game and all that kind of thing, but I think they're going to be keeping an eye on dropping mods like that anytime soon. As for who could potentially use it, I mean... I don't know, like, what other Descendants do we have currently, like, that are potentially missing something like that? I mean, does Valby need a sword one? I think it'd be kind of funny if Blair got one. Like, Blair being able to, like, infuse fire onto his sword. That would be kind of fun. I think Sharon could probably do with one. I think hopefully that she gets something to do with her rework, that she's able to get something along those kind of lines, because I think... it would be kind of cool to see her use, like, Shadow or Hypernova quite well. I don't know about Viessa. I don't think it kind of... I don't really kind of see it with Viessa, to be honest. Same with Freyna. I don't really see it. Bunny would be hilarious if she was able to, like, infuse the... similar to, like, Sharon was able to infuse the sword with, like, some electric or something like that. Replace one of her skills, make it toggleable or something like that, so she's able to run really quickly in between and things and just constantly slash and all that kind of thing. I'd be down for something like that. Nell probably could do with something along those lines. But I think Nell's just in a bit of a weird spot currently. Harris probably could do with something like that, because she is melee focused in terms of, like, with her abilities and all that kind of thing. Eugene's already sword based basically with his allergy build. Inez is probably gonna get something, come to think of it, with the with the rework and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be like all the buffs and changes to her new mods and all that kind of thing. So potentially that could happen. I probably wouldn't be down with SMO. I think SMO is probably going to get something else. In fact, I'm thinking of using SMO as my first Descendant for the How to Fix series that I'm going to be doing on the channel, talking about how to properly buff them, what they actually kind of need, what we can expect from them. With the series, I'm thinking of doing a similar to like how I did with the finals, which is why the post went out and all that kind of thing. What I want to do is I want to do like a reasonable change to like some of his mods, and then I want to kind of do like a little bit of a far out change, similar to like how we got with like Blood and Iron was a massive rework from what that mod used to do. Similar to like how you know, it's not too crazy of a thing for what happened with like if I go into, because I forget the blooming names of all all the mods. Demonic was by itself was like mediocre. It was just never really going to kind of get used. Pardon, excuse me. But now that they've given it like the explosion and all that kind of thing, it makes it actually really good for mobbing. You know, a reasonable change for what that gun or what this build was actually supposed to do. But then you have a look at like Blood and Iron, and this was a massive change. This was completely out there that we were never kind of seeing this coming. So I want to kind of like do something like that, maybe. So yeah, a little bit early days when it comes to that series, because I do want to get my Freyna guide out in the next day or so. But that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, out of who could potentially use them, Sharon, Inez, Bunny. Funnily enough, all the electric-based characters by the sounds of things. And then I would like to see Blair get one. I think Blair would be so funny with a sword. Just like a cool animation where he just like wipes his hand across the blade, sets it on fire, gets added damage, gets added skill power damage at the same time as being able to do like slashing damage or something along those lines. Something like that would be so fun, I think. And he can boost like the crit damage of the... Similar to like how he's got like backdraft for guns, does it for swords. I think that would be so fun to be able to mess about with, but we'll see. I mean, they haven't even got Blair on their radar to be able to have a look at yet, so there's no point of even discussing that one. I realised I've been yapping for so long I haven't even looked at the chat. Let's have a look. Master Z's here. Thank you so much for stopping by there, Z. How's everything going your side? Everything's all good this way. How's your week been treating you? Darth's here. Thank you so much for stopping by there, Darth. Dang, did Bids give more subs? To be honest with you, I'm not 100%. I'm hoping Bids might be able to actually confirm that. Because I feel like I might have had delayed notifications from the last time that you subbed. I don't know if that is the case, and maybe I've just fixed that with the stream setup and all that kind of thing. But if you could just confirm that for me, Bids, that would be great. Just to be certain. I don't want to potentially miss anyone, like, you know, supporting the channel or anything like that. I do want to say thank you and everything. So we need for that is like 5. That's crazy hybrids. If I see, it was finished today, was only upper body. Fair enough. Wait, hold on a second. If it was only upper body, what are you doing on the treadmill? I've got to ask that, but Beard saying thanks for the stream, Rez. I appreciate it. No, of course. I mean, you know, it's I'm here for you know, just to have a lot of fun and everything like that. YouTube has a ton of delay. Oh, let's have a quick look at that. I'm gonna have a quick look, see if there's anything currently going on. Hold on a second, there is a bit of an error currently going on. I think it's something that I can't fix just yet. It's going to be something I'll have to restart the stream for. I tell you what, as long as it's watchable, I will take a note of it right now. And I will get that fixed ready for the next stream on Monday. I can only apologise for that. It looks like I've kind of missed an error message. So I will get that fixed. Yeah, that's... yeah, apologies about that. I will... yeah, I'll absolutely tell me if it's watchable. If it's not watchable, I will sort it out. I'll end it and then I'll start another one up. If it's bearable for the time being, then great, and I'll get that sorted out for Monday. I am just quickly checking something out because another notification just came up saying that Bids has given more members. He has given more members. Thank you so much there, Bids. That's insane. The end video thumbnail is gonna be kind of crazy looking. So thank you so much there, Bids. That is a massive help there. Yeah, we're up to, what are we up to now? Like 5, 10. We're up to 14 members on the channel now, all thanks to Bids there. So that's insane. Thank you so much there, Bids. I really do appreciate that. Want to run some Forbidden Sanctuary after Warcrusher? Yeah, I'm sure we could figure something out. I mean, heck, it could be a lot of fun to... I mean, if anyone else wants to join in on some runs, I mean, there's space. There's no point me just kind of doing this by myself. I'm more than happy to take a back seat and actually have a talk with the chat and all that kind of thing while everyone's doing it. Sharon needs a melee transmod, absolutely. Ajax's melee transmod needs a bit of quality of life. It has potential, but it's a bit slow because it needs a ton of setup. It's not the worst thing in the world. In fact, to be fair, I kind of really enjoy it. When you do have it built right, I am missing my ancestor mod because I did take it off. That's why. I'll probably just put that one on, to be fair, but there's no space. There we go. I do enjoy the sword one. I think it's a lot of fun just to be able to like trigger all these explosions and everything like that. But I can appreciate that it's a little bit on the slow side, especially compared to like Blood and Iron Glay, who's able to do so much more with it. I'll start some Harris propaganda in your chat. Yes, Harris, choose her. I know it's controversial, but I just don't really care too much for Harris. After she got a nerf to what she was able to pull off with like battering ram and everything like that, she's fine. But I struggle to choose her over anyone else, essentially, which is a bit of a shame because she does have a really fun passive. But I just can't. I love the management of the passive. It's a lot of fun, but it's so hard to recommend her compared to other people now. As a forward, it's bearable for nowadays. It's okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And like I said, I will get that one. I will get that corrected. Ready for the next stream. I think I know what it is. So, but it has been a little while since I've streamed properly like this, and it's the first time it's brought it up. So I will get that corrected. Cool. She's fun. I mean, she's fine. I get that she's not necessarily for me, but you know, that's absolutely fine. I mean, that's why we have other Descendants, just to be able to mess about with. So, just because she doesn't work for me, I'm not going to say she's bad or anything like that. She's far from being bad, or she's absolutely usable. But, me personally, I would much prefer going for another Descendant just to be able to actually play with at the moment. But it's what it is. Parsible's here, evening boss. Thank you so much for stopping by there, Parsible. How's everything going your side? How's your week been? I've not seen another Harris in my lobby since she released. Yeah, that's the thing. She does have does have some decent strength behind her and everything like that. She's not weak. It's just hard to recommend her compared to other people. There isn't anything that she specifically can pull off and do better than other people. Like, for example, with like the defense shred with like battering ram and all that kind of thing, Ajax does it better. It's essentially that's all it is she doesn't really feel like she has too much of a niche right now. To be honest with you, though, there is a really easy way for her to actually get a niche, and that's to do with one of her red mods where it turns into the beam. Because it does have access to Wave Eruption, which is like possibly the best trigger mod that exists in the game, I would probably argue. It is absolutely for Bunny anyway. It is for transforms Blair into an insane like DPS monster as well. But she has access to it, but she can't use it well enough to be able to get there. And I think they just essentially need to change that mod so that she can actually just maintain that beam constantly, and she would be absolutely fine. Because she would still have all the damage then. But I guess we'll see. Once again, no, she's not on the list to get changed anytime soon, though. That's the problem. Oh, go. I'm not paying attention to my HP. That's a close one. I don't know why they all spawn together. No. See what we get from that. Ajax is powerhouse, but a lot of people sleep on him, which is weird considering that, you know, the buff that he got. Oh, funny enough, that's the that's the red mod that I've been talking about. Oh, gold duration, not bad, and extra HP. Can't really complain. I'll just move to Albion just to catch up a little bit on the chat. Yeah, Ajax is an absolute powerhouse. Yeah, it's weird that you know, he went from being so oppressive, not really getting any changes to be able to like take his power level down or anything like that. And yet, just realised there's no chat box. Oh no, it's because it's all YouTube. That's why. I'm with you. Yeah, for him to be so oppressive, so strong in everything that he kind of did, in the previous like episode, season, whatever you want to call it, and now he's barely kind of talked about, and now it's back to Serena being the strongest, and not many people kind of like giving Ajax a look in. Tacticians, I don't really want more Nell. Bit of a shame. Who will be your first Descendant for the new series? About how to fix them. So I'm thinking, just because I have been doing a lot of searching to sort out Cretimo, as I'm calling him. I was quite happy with that kind of mod to be able to be found and actually kind of use. But I think that SMO has really got something that's you know, kind of usable. And I think he's not too far away from being like viable or anything like that. But it's just his mobbing is a little bit on the like the bit of a struggle fest, which is a bit of a shame. Why are you Haravi? But he absolutely has something to him. He definitely has the ability to be insanely strong. I think, obviously, to give you a little bit of insight as to what I'm actually thinking of doing with that video, I don't think they should change. They should give you the option, obviously, with some of these red mods and all that kind of thing. They have so many of these red mods that it's insane. I think they should change Cluster Bomb to be his mobbing one. Currently, it absolutely is diabolical. You never want to use Cluster Bomb, I don't think. It's so finicky, it's so awkward to be able to actually get the Cluster Bombs to hit. they should change this one to be his main kind of like mobbing gear, but be absolutely awful when it comes to like bossing. And then be able to keep things like explosive evade, creative explosion, that kind of thing to be able to be your bossing. Because you shouldn't really be touching your skill 1 or skill 3 in terms of like how they behave. I think these are really, really good, especially with like things like domino drive with chain reaction, being able to apply it with blast and all that kind of thing. You know, you have the option with creative to go for more cooldown. You have the option to be able to go for base with explosive evade. To be able to go for more skill power behind every single one of those explosions. You have so many different options, and I think if they kind of kept these two roughly the same, but just kind of like change some of these figures, make it so this is a little bit easier to be able to spam, so you can use it in mobbing, but a little bit more awkward, you know, that's a potential. I think Cluster Bomb should be going something along the lines of, you know, not necessarily like stacking up or anything like that. But they should probably change his skill 2 to do something. It kind of surprises me that he doesn't really have any kind of like, you know, like mine layer type builds. What are you doing? That's just a warning. Yeah, it's just every now and then it's skipping a little bit of bit rate, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, it does surprise me that, you know, for someone that can lay mines, essentially, lay explosives in weight, he doesn't have, like, a mine layer, minesweeper kind of, like, type skill, where he can just run around and he just deploys mines behind him. I know, technically, explosive evade is the closest that we have to that, but if they go for cluster bomb and they make it so that every single time he takes so many steps, seems like how Bunny works with her third skill, so every so far she then triggers like that explosion around herself. They could do something along those kind of lines, even if it's something that's like you activate it, it's a bit on your status depending on how fast you go. You could then keep his skill 4 so that he has like the incredible movement speed of 1600, and then as he's running around ready for that big explosion, he's constantly setting off smaller explosions around him. You know, things like that. I've yet to put pen to paper, to be completely honest with you, but those are just like a couple of ideas that I'd be spitballing out there. You know, that would massively help his mobbing. You know, it would give him so much more viability, and I do think he's a really cool character. He's definitely on the cooler side in terms of like how he looks and everything like that. He just needs a good component set, because he doesn't really have access to anything really that boosts his skill power, apart from Slayer, which makes it a little bit awkward in terms of like MP to be able to actually do something. And then he doesn't really have like the skill set itself, especially seeing like some of its tech and then some of its fusion, which is really blooming awkward to be able to use. So I think he's due for something. I think it could be really cool what they can actually achieve with him, but I guess we'll kind of like see in the future. But yeah, he's going to be the first that I'm probably going to put pen to paper. I haven't fully decided, fully set on that being the case, but I think with him being the lesser used, it does make the most sense for me to get a little bit of playtime with him, fully understand a little bit more about his kit, what every single one of those red mods is able to do, and then where it just kind of like falls short, and just kind of like take it from there. Because that's what I'm hoping to do. Rather than just kind of like make a little bit of commentary, I kind of want to dive into every single one of the red mods, actually give it a proper playthrough, see where it kind of like falls short, see what works about it, what doesn't work, what's unique, all that kind of thing. Try and keep something, and then, yeah, and then trying to suggest from there. Because there's no point in me just kind of going, oh, I've not played this red mod, doesn't work, but I'm not going to use it. So that's the plan, anyway. Yeah. Davey's here. Thanks so much for stopping by, Davey. How's your week been treating you? It's good to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by. I just got back into the game. I wonder what weapon I should farm for. Well, that's going to be a little bit difficult for me to be able to suggest without knowing exactly what you have. So, what kind of weapons do you currently have, or are you looking for more stat sticks? It's a complicated question to kind of answer because it depends on what you plan on using, who you plan on actually playing as a Descendant, all that kind of thing. So, who's your main? Who or what are you trying to achieve, I suppose, and then we can kind of like go from there, and we can figure out if it's stat stick or if it's actual shooting platform that you're actually trying to grind for, and just kind of use it from there. I can suggest like some, you know, some decent builds and all that kind of thing. That's absolutely fine, but you know, every single one of these kind of uses a different kind of gun, so it's a bit hard to kind of suggest. Aegis mentioned Wall Crusher, absolutely. We'll definitely get in there. Do I suppose I could just rely on... We'll rely on Glay. Because I don't see too many buffing Lunas nowadays. SMO's Explosive Bunny, make it happen? Absolutely. I mean, the fact that we can turn explosions off means that we have no reason not to go for that anymore. So, yeah, absolutely, why not? Why should Bunny have all the fun? And he should be known as Hell Bunny Mo. If you, I mean, I got lucky pronouncing that just. So, if you can pronounce that 5 times quickly, I'll quite happily name the build after that. You have any Thunder Cage? I mean, Thunder Cage is a fantastic weapon nowadays. So, I wouldn't feel too bad about that one. Okay, fair enough. So, what Descendants are you farming for? Are you planning on using? That kind of thing. We can... I've got a couple of minutes. I can talk about like a couple of presets and we can just kind of like do it from there, I suppose. I mean, heck, we can kind of like talk about it here, I suppose, like kind of quickly through some of the presets. So, for example, if you wanted to go Lepic, Secret Garden is going to be the one that you want to farm for, mainly because this is a stat stick. It's great for applying crits, and it's also really good with its passive because it does give you a 50% chance at max stacks, because you do need to be able to get all the duplications. At max stacks, it has a 50% chance of being able to boost your skill power when you're using your tech and all that kind of thing. So Secret Garden is absolutely fantastic. You will find that multiple people who do run tech abilities, Secret Garden is normally going to be the go-to. So things like Freyna can absolutely use Secret Garden. Inez can use it. SMO, there's a bunch that all use tech abilities that could all benefit from additional skill power. That's where Secret Garden kind of like comes into it. When it comes to Bunny, it's a little bit different. It depends on what you're kind of trying to achieve. In most cases, when it comes to Bunny, most people do recommend the crit. And if that's the case, then you do want to go for Blue Beetle. So Blue Beetle on a fusion skill cast increases your critical hit rate by 115% multiplicative. So that is a really good stat stick for anyone that's fusion based. And then Peacemaker is going to be the other movement stat stick as well, because this has just got 3 yellow cores to be able to help you with sprint speed and with grapple, and it's also really good with Dimension and... Is it Dimension and Fusion, if I remember right? I can click into it in a bit, to be able to give even more skill power, but that's non-attribute skill power, so that is specific to those kind of like Descendants as well. But there's some really good stat sticks out there. There's some really good shooting guns. In fact, Blue Beetle, which I'm currently using for Glay here, is really good for shooting as it currently stands. In fact, you'll be able to, especially if you go into a max fire rate one. I think mine's currently missing a little bit of fire rate, if I remember right. Just need them to stand still. There we go. Oh, even got a Freyna mod for my troubles. I mean, I'll take that. Sanctuary? Yeah, we can absolutely sort that then. Oh, the skill power increase is terrible. Oh, that's a shame. Use Glay right now, but think of farming Freyna. So Freyna can use Secret Garden. Secret Garden is still a fantastic one to be able to use. So if we have a look at Freyna builds, So Secret Garden and Fallen Hope are going to be your main ones. You can currently get a copy of Fallen Hope inside of Albion right now. In terms of which one's better, I personally prefer the Fallen Hope. It's going to be a little bit slower in terms of movement, but it is going to be so much more lethal when it comes to actually shooting this out. And you can reliably use this when your 4th is currently on cooldown. So absolutely you can go this route, which is absolutely fantastic. And let me show you how you can get yourself a free... Well, I say free, obviously you've got to farm a couple of missions, but let's talk about that. Bids has become a member for 4 months. Thank you so much there, Bids. Absolutely valued member of the community, so thank you. Cheese times flies, yeah, tell me about it. And She vs. Interwebs is here, my favourite TFT creator. Oh, you're going to make me blush, don't do that to me. That's it's good to see you. How's everything going your side? How's your week been? But if you want to get yourself a Fallen Hope, if I remember right, it's over here. You talk to Eckert. I think it's in this one, if I remember right. There we go. And then complete the infiltration operation in Hagios. It won't let you do it. Okay. So you go to this computer here. Now, I didn't mention if it was hard or not. Now, personally, I haven't completed this, but I believe it's going to be these ones here. And you complete them, what was it, 2 times? It just says complete it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, just complete it 2 times. As soon as you complete it 2 times, you then get to choose between these 4 rewards. You click into it, it will give you that part, and then you can, once you've got all 4, you can then go craft yourself one. I would recommend getting this, obviously, the Fallen Hope up to max stacks. It is so much better, obviously, to be able to actually go about and do that. It's going to give you more skill power. It's going to be doing way more damage. But yeah, in terms of like the 2 main guns, Secret Garden, when you use a tech skill for Pest, you have a 50% chance of being able to increase your firearm attack as well as your skill power. That's generic skill power, which is really, really nice. And then Fallen Hope, on its unique ability, it is a whole wall of text, but essentially what this means is you're going to be gaining even more firearm attack, you're going to be more attribute status trigger, so the more chance that this gun is able to apply poison. Toxic skill power goes up by 5 stacks, so you can essentially get roughly around about 95% additional toxic skill power by using this gun. I think you only get this from where do you come from again? Or toxic aggregation. I always forget because it's such a wall of text. Using a toxic skill gives you aggregation, and then when that's active, using a ground dot type skill. So yeah, so essentially the more times that you cast your abilities, the more you start spamming it, the more stacks of toxic skill power you're getting, which obviously means that more damage your skills are going to be dealing. But then you get to increase the amount of firearm attack damage as you start hitting poisoned enemies. It's insane the amount of damage that this can like actually kind of proc off. It really is quite a deadly gun. The crazy part about it is that if you've got it with the right Descendants, you can actually build this into crit as well as multi-hit. It's one of the strongest multi-hit damage weapons at the same time. But it also has a 1.7x when it comes to its crit hit damage, which is insane. So you can actually build this into multi-crit with certain people, which is makes it even deadlier, which is crazy. But both of these are fantastic weapons, and I will be putting out a Freyna guide soon for Contagion, Venom Injection, as well as Crit. Crit by itself isn't going to be fantastic, but it is going to be really useful if you do have a buff Luna. You can use a buff Ajax. It requires a little bit more investment because Luna only needs 150% critical hit rate increase, whereas Ajax needs 300% total. So you need to change around a few of these modules, but either way, it's quite nasty once you do actually get the crits kind of going. You do have an insane kind of like multiplier, which is pretty good. But yes, so essentially a quick rundown as to what we're using. So we have got these maxed out to 40, so I can now get rid of these. We'll pop that on, and we'll pop that on. Yep. got to build myself up to mastery rank 32 somehow. Long time no see. Yeah, it absolutely has been a long time. It was over 4 months until Monday's stream, which since then I've welcomed in my baby son. He's doing really, really well at the moment. He started to slow down, which has now actually given me a little bit more time for me to be able to mess about and actually start doing some streams, start doing a bit more content, and actually start being a little bit more active. So, yeah, you're going to start seeing me a lot more nowadays. You've been sick, but I'm glad to see you streaming. Well, I mean, I appreciate you saying you're glad to see me streaming, but I'm sorry to hear that you've been sick. Has everything been all right? I hope it hasn't been anything too serious. Also glad to see that TFT is treating you well and happy 6 months. Oh, well. Has it been 6 months on the membership? Is that what's been the case? No, TFT's been treating me fairly well. I mean, it's been patient with me during the 4 months with kiddo, but now we're essentially back up and running, business as usual, and yeah, the channel's been taken off quite nicely, which is really good to see. So thoroughly been enjoying. Okay, thank you. I also wondered what best chill weapon to use on Inferno Worker. So when it comes to Void bosses, we swap over to this screen here because you can press Y for your basic info, and it gives you all this. Weapons are going to really kind of struggle because of the amount of defense that Inferno Worker does have. You'll notice that chill skill resistance is much lower, and the reason why defense is this high is because of Serena, essentially. So trying to stop her, from being able to melt Walker down insanely fast, because this is the way that they're able to kind of get past it. If you're looking for the best way to farm Infernal Walker, the best kind of descendants to use at the moment are Dire, Viessa. I believe Haley's also pretty good up there, if I remember right, but I haven't personally seen myself. But I do know that Viessa is fantastic, and I do know that Dire is fantastic in terms of this. What you can actually do, if you want to be able to try and find builds to be able to help you out with this kind of thing, you can absolutely swap over to this screen here. You can get yourself onto the leaderboards, and you can have a bit of a look as to what kind of times we're looking at. I'm actually quite surprised there's so many Blairs on this one. Let me guess, is this a backdraft Blair? No, it's a wave eruption Blair. Oh, I might actually have to try and compete for this then. Yeah, might have to try. Give Skonu a bit of a run for his money. Still a minute 55, Jesus. Oh, Valby's got some really good times, what it looks things as well. But essentially, yeah, so you go onto the screen. Viessa has got some really low times. You know, I've got pretty solid time, but 55th is kind of mid. But yeah, you can absolutely go onto here and just kind of see what people are using. Dire at the moment is able to clear it in like less than 4 seconds. So I would probably recommend obviously trying to get Dire farmed, but Dire is obviously only obtainable. Actually, no, she's obtainable quite a bit, isn't she? If I remember right, she's obtainable inside the Sigma sector, if I remember right. So you can absolutely get your way up to there. Yeah, I mean, heck, you can go into public as well if you want to get the green tickets. But yeah, in terms of weapons, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. There are a few descendants that can absolutely pull it off. Let's see what Glay's currently doing, because I feel like Glay might be using Massacre, if that's the case. Yeah, they've gone for Massacre to be able to go against the skill power instead of going against like defense. So Python's probably going to be your best shout as a stat stick for that, but you could always just follow. And 7 is obviously a fantastic Glay content creator, so you can go this route. But if you're after any kind of like weapons in terms of builds and all that kind of thing, what the best people are running, you can absolutely head yourself over to the leaderboards, and you can get all that information for yourself right there. Oh yeah, forgot. Congrats, man. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's like I said, it's been a heck of a change for the last like 4 odd months, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily change him. He's well, he can be a little bit of a joy to have around, I suppose. No, he's absolutely fine. He's massive shake up to life and it changed to how everything works and all that kind of thing. But no, he's an absolute joy to have around. So it's nice to see him grow up. He's huge now. I mean, I tell you what, he's really good workout for the arms. If you've ever wanted to not pay for a gym membership but actually bulk up on your arms, have a child. Because we took him to a nursery appointment to go have a look around, and took him out the car seat, and we were there for the best part of an hour. And I picked him up thinking, this will be fine. We haven't got like a pram or cot with us or anything like that, so I'll just hold him for what we're here. And yeah, my arms started to, like, the biceps started to start scream at me near towards the end of it, and I didn't realise it had been an hour. And honestly, my arms felt solid straight after that. It's fantastic. It was a really good workout. I'm not saying that's the only reason you should have a child. Just saying, but it's definitely up there in terms of it. Right, so let's start actually getting into a little bit of gameplay, shall we? I got some cold I got from fiance over, almost over it, just stuffed up and cough. Oh, okay, I see. Well, I'm glad it's not the serious kind of signs things, but yeah. Dad strength is real? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, they kind of talk about it, but it's not until you actually have one you actually start feeling the burn, as your muscles are starting to scream at you for holding your child up and all that kind of thing, that you start to realise what that actually means. Ajax, if I actually got you on my... I can't even remember. Do I actually have you on here? No, I don't think I do. Just for shits and giggles, I have want to invite Apo from Alyssa's stream. Just kidnap him. Be funny. Go on then, drop me an invite and we can sort this one out then. And we'll add you to the friends list and everything. Glad you're enjoying it. I wish you and your family nothing but the best, like always. Well, I appreciate it. I genuinely do. Thank you so much, though, Sheep. It really does mean a lot to hear that kind of come from you. So thank you. Yeah, he's, like I said, massive shake-up, but you kind of have to go through it if you kind of want him around and everything, I suppose. Yeah, do you know what? I expected much worse, if I'm being completely truthful. I was expecting it to be much more of a hassle than it actually kind of is, but I don't know if it's just because every now and then he smiles and it just kind of takes your mind off it and all that kind of thing. He's can't really can't stay mad at him when he when he upsets you and all that kind of thing. You're like, oh god, it's so I tell you what, if anyone wants to, he wants to run sanctuaries, probably won't do Frainer for that though. Tell you what, let's have a look at. I said I was going to. What have we got for? Still really no good trigger mods. Ooh. Oh, now Two-Face does interest me. But then saying that, so does Domino Drive. Ooh. I could use Wave Eruption, but I don't want to use Wave Eruption on every single build for Blair. Saying that, don't have any range increase on this just yet. But Domino Drive is just so much better. It gives you range, it gives you fire skill power, it's insane the amount of damage. Yeah. you'd have to use the skill 7 times to be able to get this, but then as soon as you set up, you're pretty much good to go. Whereas Two-Face you could just apply straight away. I don't know. Lesser skill power, but it is generic skill power compared to 7 full stacks of this. But in 25 seconds, so once it's stacked up the first time. Yeah, Domino Drive's got to be the way. Duration's pretty good on this. Yeah, good old-fashioned Power Beyond, but I feel like Domino Drive gives you so much more. It gives you range and skill power that you can stack up, and 25 seconds is a long time. You can absolutely get through 7 more stacks. Oh no, you can't gain stacks while it's active, so you'd have to wait. Maybe not then. That kind of sucks. Maybe it is Two-Face. I like Two-Face. You get rid of Spear and Shield, because you wouldn't need that. Duration up and fire skill cost is pretty good. But it would only mean 3 more fireballs, which isn't great. I could always go for that, and that will give me 2 extra fireballs. Well, that's not too bad. Yeah, it's better than that. We'll put that in for now. Focus on fire. Got a crit mods. Got to focus on dimension. Do we need that for this? Yeah, it's low enough modifier that it's durance. It actually increases a decent amount. That's additive skill, critical hit damage as well, so that's actually going to get even more, so that's kind of cool. So the last thing we need is Lucky Coin. I do like that mod. I'll probably mess about with that, to be fair. That's for whether I want to kind of do that right now is a different question. More range. We don't need MP. Don't need that. Nope. Guess that's that. This I can change. That should still give me max cooldown. It does. Cool. How have I never actually had you on my friends list? That's crazy. Fair enough then. Right. Abu's here. Hey, Abu, how's everything going on your side? Love your TFT vids. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I feel like I remember you from the Outriders days. Am I going crazy about that? Am I... Is my mind playing tricks on me? With, But I appreciate you stopping by. How's everything going your way? How's your week been? Wrong one. Do I trust myself to try this out? I'm sure it's fine. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Besides, I'm running with an Ajax. Surely can't go wrong from there. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this this build of Blair. I'm pretty sure it's bog standard stuff. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. God, that did nothing. Honestly, how has Blair not got even more of a... Actually, that wasn't bad. That was decent damage. I can't believe it's still... Whoop. Can't believe it's still going to be wave eruption. God, that's just awful. Whoop. Yeah, maybe we won't... Oh, it's too fast. It's got stuck. Woo! I want to say I feel like I'm contributing, but I don't feel like I am actually contributing right now. Doesn't feel great, does it? Yeah, we won't use that that build again anytime soon. Not for this kind of content. And the question is, what do we use instead? Tactical strike. And a glay mod. Come on. Ah, screw it. Infernus is here. Thank you so much for stopping by. How's everything going on your side? Playing TFT while watching a TFT live stream while working from home is absolute paradise. Well, I'm glad I can help make that a reality for yourself. Thank you so much. What are you currently grinding out on TFT, I guess? Fine Blair, a little underpowered to be honest. He needs a dev to buff him up a little bit of his build. I mean, it's weird because he kind of has like one of the strongest trigger mods in the whole game with Wave Eruption, and yet because he's Blair, he still finds a way to be able to make it miserable, which is really, really weird. I do like his ultimate trig mods and all that kind of thing that he got from when his ult form dropped and everything. But I must admit, compared to what we've had recently from like Glay and all that kind of thing, it does feel a little bit underpowered. Oh, look at all those stats. So here's a question for everyone currently watching. If you had a choice, if there was one Descendant that you would make better in this game right now, or one specific build for a Descendant or something like that, one that you think that deserves a little bit of love, which one would that be? I'm curious as to what people think is like the worst build currently available in the game. Ajax. Did you really just stop firing just to type in Ajax? Could Ajax possibly need buffing? I felt like I did a lot more that time. More gun damage. I'm sorry, how much damage did you just do in that compared to my 1.2 bill? Keelan, I would give him better AoE. I mean, that's completely fair. I do think Keelan is missing something going on right now. .1, 3.3. Ah, yes. Ajax needs more. Sega over on Twitch has said Keelan as well. I mean, I guess Keelan is probably the one that could absolutely do with something. To be fair, he's probably going to be... Well, he is going to absolutely feature on the series at some point. In terms of buffs that are needed and everything like that. So, trying to think. What would I... Damn you, shield. I mean, is it crazy to think that maybe he could do with like a cooldown change, just to go from like 55 seconds per dash down to, I don't know, 45, maybe even 50 or something like that. And the reason why I think that is because that gives you a chance to be able to actually just refund your stuff so much easier, or that kind of thing. Maybe that's... I mean, I'm not saying that'll be the thing that fixes him, but it would be a welcome change. Because even if you get like the perfect dash, you've still got to wait 0.5 seconds, and obviously if you're starting to spam, that actually does start adding up. Whereas if you still go max cooldown investment. I mean, it fixes a little bit, you know. Not like a massive amount, but it's a start. But then saying that, Keelan needs a fair bit. Yeah, range is definitely something that he's a little bit short on. I'm actually kind of curious what allergy would do here. Oh, I'll have to give it a go. Yeah, not a great one. Oh, hold on. Double gold grand eruption. I mean, happy to take that. Let's see what this absolute monstrosity does then. Because I'm curious if I... What does that do? Does that do... That does firearm crit rate as well. I imagine you've built into multi-hit, haven't you? Here we go again. Male Descendants are absolutely shafted. They seem to usually be underpowered and or have a boring kit. New to the game, closing in my first month. Never had fun with a looter like TFD. Well, welcome to the game. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and it sounds like you are, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a running joke in the community, to be completely honest with you, the fact that the women kind of get everything they need. And then, yeah, the males are kind of like left behind with everything. Well, that seems faster. Woohoo! Do you know what? I had no idea that this actually could be this file. This is carnage. It's hard to keep up with bloody Relic though. That's so funny. What's that done? 320. That's around about the same. I wasn't expecting to do 1.1 bill there. That's pretty solid. I'm happy with that. Eugene great on Battlefield Medic. I mean, I'm not even doing that. I'm going for proliferating allergy here, just because it increases the amount of damage that targets can take, which is perfect for Ajax, and it also does the detonation, which if you do have the right ancestor module, you can make 100% critical hit rate, and it just pops off for insane damage. I mean, heck, my crit's at 5.8, so 99.52. So yeah, it's and then you can put it up to 6.3. Crazy. But obviously you've got to maintain those buffs. So whether I mean, the duration would be nice to be able to do that. Walter, how much you got left? Oh my days, W. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want some space, feel free to join. I can back us out to Albion. We can get you in. Might as well get some. I mean, we've got the space. Might as well run it. Ajax and Eugene OP. Look at so much Eugene that can one-shot hordes. I mean, to be fair, the Shadow's doing a lot of carrying with that damage. But to be fair, the Shadow's insane right now. Obviously, that is relying on the Ajax also popping them as well. But, I mean, that's what makes it useful in co-op as well, the fact that it's able to do all that. But, yeah, Allergy is definitely a slept-on build, especially after he got his rework. But one can agree that the Lady Descendant's got the best treatment. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a bit of a joke that the women are able to actually do all the stuff that they can kind of do at the moment. Part of me wonders, do I... Sorry, separate thought. Does that go better? Tiny bit. That does not. We'll give him a cowboy hat. There we go. I mean, that makes no sense. Lore-wise, that makes no sense. No, it's Eugene. It's not Enzo. Yeah, what am I talking about? In that case, we'll give him Matic. Did you try Carl's nerf buff? I built him with 25 shields, but it feels bad. To be fair, I've only briefly touched on Carl's build because I was messing about with trigger mods, just trying to see what Descendants have access to what, everything like that. I might actually just put a slot in here because I've just realised I don't have too much going on for him right now. Do you know what? Start putting some of those in there. Yeah, because I was messing about last night with trigger modules, just trying to see what Descendants can use, some of these brand new yellow mods that we do have access to. Just trying to see if there's some like random builds out there that no one's actually like touched on just yet, and see if there's something that we can actually put together. And I had a little bit of difficulty with it because, for example, with Kyle, who is there, what I was messing about with is that self-directed eruption. As soon as I saw a mission, I was like, hold on a second, we can use wave eruption. I didn't realise he had access to this. And I tried it in the testing lab, and this does nothing, because it's not dealing damage until you activate it at the very end. So it's not triggering any of these extra stacks or doing any extra damage, which kind of sucks. Because even if he just did like a little bit of trickle damage, like even if it was just like 50 modifier or something along those lines, while he just constantly held access to them and all that kind of thing, wave eruption would be triggering, and he could be an insane mobber with self-directed eruption. But because it does no damage, it doesn't trigger wave eruption, so therefore it kind of suffers, and it's a real shame because it could have been really good with like the range that's on this. Where is it again? There we go. Traction beam range. You know, this isn't even maxed, but 33.7 meters by 9. And you just hold all the enemies right in front of you. They can't do anything about it because they're being constantly towed. And then you just hit them all with wave eruption while they're just stuck there. Would be an insane mobbing ability for Kyle. But yeah, because he does no damage on that ability, it doesn't do anything. Not until you activate the detonation at the very end. And by that point, it's just completely lost. So it kind of sucks. But there's a lot I need to do with Kyle. To be completely honest with you, I need to build him into crit. I need to add some extra mods and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot I still need to be able to actually do with him. But he's fine as a Descendant, so I don't think he's like fantastic or anything like that, but I feel like he's a little bit clunky to play in most kind of stuff that currently exists in the game. We'll just give him a cowboy hat, why not? Clips through the armor, but there we go. That's the one. Now he looks like a missile. We'll go with what's that? Matte titanium silver. I'm just gonna, while we wait for Walter, you can tell me it's one that I have to pay. Oh, of course it is. I need to find a way to make him look like a missile. Wait, there's actually a bit of head in it. Oh, there is, yeah. There's a bit of head underneath her. There we go. This might be the stupidest looking thing I've ever made. Do you know what? I'm doing it. There we go. We've made we've made Missile Kyle. What's clipping through the top of this? Or is that just literally the top of the hat? Something going. This is easily the stupidest skin I've ever made in this game. Oh dear. It's encouraging me to now play as him. It really is. Anyway, right. Where was I? Oh, the stuff that we pay for inside a TFDA. Still waiting for Bikini Ajax? Yeah, I think we're going to be waiting a while, unfortunately. Just finished building my glade with Demonic. Need some better external components, but got killer ancestors and building a blue beetle to have an option for Question. Fantastic. That is that pretty much solves you for 2 of her builds at the very least. She's actually got access to so many. Got to pass lead when I join in. Got to invite a friend. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, she's got access to so many builds now. It's unreal. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had access to 4 at the time, and I've just kind of like cut it down to 3, just to be able to go back and forth on. Yeah, what's it? I mean, Mage's set is so good on her for most things, and I haven't even fully tried out everything. We've got the bounces on Massacre still yet to try, but I thought, do you know what? I've done enough with Glay. I'm just going to move on from there. So, but I will be working on getting the last 2% fire rate increases on Blue Beetle, just to be able to actually do a little bit more damage. Because as soon as you start getting that close, fire rates actually, like those 1% actually do make a massive difference. So yeah, absolutely need to start grinding out some more cores and everything like that. Yeah, you just rubbed up the build via a screenshot while I watch that gameplay. I mean, if you want to see the build, absolutely, I can. I mean, I'm pretty confident I actually do have the video out for Bujin Yujin, if you're interested in that. But essentially, this only works. I mean, obviously, Two-Face is brand new for this build, but this only works if you have a Transcendent mod with enough crit rate. Because you absolutely need to have crit rate for this to actually work. You cannot get enough to be able to make it viable. Well, I say not viable, consistent, let's say, to be able to get it close enough. Because you need access to that, you also need access to insight, you need access to front lines as well. I mean, you can get away with a little bit less crit rate, and you can go for emergency measures that will actually account for 60-odd% of it. So you can go that route, so you can get away with like around about 150% critical hit rate on your Ancestors mod. So you don't necessarily need over 200. You would just take off Lucky Coin. You would go for emergency measures, and you'd be absolutely fine. So you can get away with... There is a little bit of flexibility in the build, but because I do have that, because it gets me to 99.5%, that's why I've gone for Lucky Coin with Two-Face. Just to be able to go for a little bit more range and everything like that. To be fair, if I've got Lucky Coin on, I probably could get away with... No, I'm not going to take off the range, that's not enough. But saying that, I probably could get away with taking this off. Is there anything else I can do with these 2 points? Not really. Yeah, there's not a huge amount I could do with these 2 points, is there? I suppose technically I can just increase my modifier MP recovery. Get Walter in. If you use a trigger mod that deals damage with toe skills, wouldn't the combo work? Use the trigger mod that deals damage with toe skills. Are we talking Blazing Zone? The problem is that we don't have a toe ability when it comes to Eugen. But if we're using it on like Lepic, for example, Blazing Zone is actually really nice on Lepic. I wouldn't necessarily say it's best in slot, but it is actually quite good for like lower end kind of content. To be able to use Blazing Zone, you can actually just get away with just using your traction nade, and you can do like a buttload of farming and damage with that kind of route. But if you were looking for like bossing or higher level or all that kind of thing. Oh, sorry, you were talking about Kyle. Sorry, my apologies. Does it count as toe? It does count as toe. It does do Blazing Zone. It depends on where it puts the Blazing Zone. It lasts for 4 seconds. So it doesn't last the full duration of this. I'll probably have to mess about with that. I mean, yeah, it should trigger. But it's just a case as to how flexible this actual mod is. I probably would say Overcharge Shield if I got a decent roll. Probably is going to be our better route because it's going to give us more skill power just overall, and that means that we can use other skills and everything like that. But I suppose in theory Blazing Zone would actually proc and it would actually do some damage and everything like that, so it's just you would have to manage that 4-second duration compared to the 8 seconds that you'll get max from this. You kind of do want to go for max duration because the longer you hold it down, more damage that you're going to be dealing. I suppose you could technically use it as just like a little bit of a damage source ready for that big final hit. I don't know. There's probably something about there. But I do think that Overcharge Shield is probably just going to be better overall for the fact that it's helping everything, and then also you've got Battering Ram instead. So, weird looking skin. Right. Let's pass this to Walter so we can... there we go. There you go, Walter. You can invite your friend in. I've just realised we're close to Wall Crusher as well, so we could probably get a run in and then head straight to Wall Crusher maybe. Oh. Right, Walter, where are you taking us then? You can probably get a run of something, and then we'll hit Wall Crusher, and then we'll probably carry on with some Sanctuary or something like that. Get those red mods ready for tomorrow's event. In the meantime, let's see what's going on elsewhere. You okay there, Walter? What's going on in the party chat? Go on then. We'll swap back to... Ooh, hold on. Is that going to be a crit? Buffing Luna. Holy yap. Which one are you? Yeah, firearm. Okay, fair enough. No, I'm irritated. I shouldn't have listened to you. I'm one mining convinced for punching the hole through the PC. What do you mean? What have you done? What inconvenience have you caused? Oh, in that case. I don't understand. If you've got all your parts, what have you potentially caused to go in with your PC? It's too complicated for my one brain cell of a brain. What have you done? What am I doing on Freyner? Well, if you've gone for crit skill power, then I'm going for the crit Freyner. What the fuck is the gaming browser? Mem, you're gonna have to give me screenshots if you want me to help you out with something. I don't understand what you do. Oh, god damn it. Wait. Wait, what? Wait, what? Little throat, what have you done? I'm so confused. What even happened there? I'm going to bed. Fuck this. I need a nap. Enjoy yourself, man. Luna sold. I see. Are we going for a good clip? Is that essentially what we're doing here? We're having a reset. Okay. God, it's just loading simulator screens. Is Crit Freighter any good? So, this is going to be part of the video that I'm going to be covering on the channel within the next day or two. Essentially, yes, she is, but she needs help. Pardon me, excuse me. Oh god, why am I doing all the way over here? Are we missing something? Are we? I feel like we're missing someone. It's fine. I'm about to die. Trying to dodge everything. Oh god. There we go. What happened to the teammate? We went from having a Luna that's all to not having the Luna at all. What's going on? Well, right, what do we got? Didn't really do anything in that, but it's fine. Nothing spectacular. Oh, 140 keys though. I'm happy with that. Can't complain. So, Crit Frainer is... Oh, I didn't mean to leave the party. That's completely my fault. I've just have a habit of holding down G from there. Sorry, I will invite me back in, Walter, when you get a chance. Yeah, so Crit Frainer is... When she's solo, it's not really that viable, to be honest with you. It's not consistent enough to justify running in most content, because if you... I mean, I've got a decent enough... oh, I don't even have any crit rate on this. That's because I've built it into what I'm going to be talking about. But 12%, you can get this higher, obviously. I mean, this is only with insight and a little bit coming from front lines going into it, and I think there's a bit in marker tuning. No. Have I just settled for 130 odd %? Essentially, when you've got a crit Luna with you, 150% is the crit rate increase that you need to be able to actually reach a 100% cap. But essentially, the reason why it doesn't really work too well as a solo player is because you cannot get inconsistent enough to be able to justify using the crit hit damage that's here. Now, that being said, Crit Frainer is going to do much more damage than... yeah, we can do it. We can do it next volley. That's absolutely fine. Not a problem. Essentially, I just need 1 or 2 clips just to be able to push it out. But yeah, because of the crit damage and all that kind of thing, yes, it can make the more. It's going to do more than just adding 65% skill power from the amplification mods. But you do need a buff from a Luna or buff from an Ajax to be able to actually get up there, to be able to actually justify it. In most cases, you are going to be using Contagion with non-crit with amplification mods, same with DPS mobbing, which is going to be the other build that I'm going to be talking about. Once again, toxic amplification, the toxic skill power and all that kind of thing. But once you do manage to actually get someone that's going to be helping you out when it comes to buffing up your crit rate, then going into crit is going to be the way to be able to go for that. In terms of like modules and everything like that, going into double ratios is going to be your best bet. Going into crit damage is also going to be your best bet. You can get, like I said, for Luna, you only need 150% multiplicative boost rate to get to 100% cap. So therefore, you don't actually need a crit rate increase on your Ancestor module. The only time that's actually going to be beneficial is if you're going with a buff Ajax, or you're going for just to try and use a solo. But I think she only gets to around about 25-30% by herself, if I remember right. So, yeah, just kind of one of those. I would only really recommend it in group play, if you can kind of coordinate it. But DPS is essentially all that you need if you are looking to be able to go non-crit. No, this will do less damage against Wall Crasher, but crit version is insanely good against Wall Crasher. So it's just kind of swings and roundabouts really as to which one you kind of want to use. But it's nice to have the options, essentially. And the fact that you get 3 loadouts as well means that you can absolutely just build them up anyway. But like I said, I'm going to dissect that, all the information, all that kind of thing. I'm going to put that into every single bit of the script and talk about it and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to cover. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to cover 3 builds in one video. It's been a little while since I've kind of done that. What's this? Ah, okay. I can click that in a second. Give that a try. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Always want that. Yeah. Always want that. Yeah. Always want that. Yeah, the rest is kind of mediocre. Always take that. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take some paint. But yeah, so yeah, I'm planning to cover 3 builds in one single video, covering anything from like Sigma Sector and below comfortably. That's going to be Contagion, Axion and above, including the level 400 enemies, which is going to be Venom Injection, and then the last one's going to be Crit if you do have a coordinated teammate. And there's the only real 3 builds that you kind of need with Freyna. You can get away with a few others, but personally, you only need those 3. Those 3 essentially tackle everything that you kind of need them to do, so there's no need to build into anything else, really, unless you're trying to pull something off that's a little bit niche. I mean, there's all types of things that you can kind of do with Freyna, to be completely honest with you. You can go into multi-talented with what's the shield one, the defense buff on your skill 2, so you have max crit cooldown rate, so you can spam your 4 a little bit more. You've got Contagion, you've got Venom Synthesis, so you can run a little bit faster if you do want to try and clear it a little bit that way. So that can be done. There's a whole manner of things as to how you can build Freyna. She actually has quite a few builds that you can actually go straight into. But if I'm being real with myself in all the time that I've played Freyna, yeah, you can just kind of like narrow it down to 3. I'm curious what this does if I click this on YouTube. I can start a Q&A session, apparently, and it requires me to say something, so... I don't know, what should I put in here? I'll mess about with that in a bit. Oh, what's this gun? But should we worry? Tell Eisen to leave? Well, we're near the end. I mean, surely at this point we might as well just complete the... and get you in the next run. What happened to you? You just... game crash? Like, what's... No, not one on your own. No, of course we just add it to the thing. We'll just keep running it. Crash. Yeah, fair. I mean, heck. I mean, by the time we've got your 10 ancestors, I'll be massively over on my own. So. Ooh. There we go. Cool. Right, let's get water in. I'm a number go up fiend after I tried venom injection, just can't go back to contagion. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. The big and fast explosion from contagion will also make my poor console scream during special ops. To be fair though, contagion is easily the best build to actually run in Spec Ops, just purely for the fact that you can run it solo. Depending on the weapons that you use, if you're going into hard mode, for example, to be able to break those shields, you can get it done in less than 8 minutes. If you're really lucky with your drops as well, you can earn upwards of 3 mil gold as well in basically 8 minutes, which is actually one of the best ways to be able to get gold in this game. If you pair it with the current Battle Pass weapon as well, the Typhoon, it is insanely good at being able to break shields. I've never had such an easier time, even against Vulture or Voltia, or however you choose to be able to pronounce it. Voltia was originally designed to be able to break all those shields. Even Voltia doesn't do as good of a job as what the Typhoon does, because the Typhoon hits so many enemies at the same time. And it also reliably crits. It's also got some better core rolls and all that kind of thing, like double electric attack and all that kind of thing. Yeah, the Typhoon is just insane as a really good way of being able to break balls. So if you go in with either Typhoon, Contagion Frainer, once you've got a fully built up and all that kind of thing, you can absolutely just kind of like decimate it. What's going on? But yeah, that's why Contagion isn't as great inside of Axion. I mean, you know, you can get away with Contagion inside of Axion now, just purely based on the fact that you do have access to a few other tools. For example, now that we've got Ancestor modules, Contagion is pretty good for that. It really does get a really nice benefit from it, especially if you go into boost ratios, because you do have less kind of like, let's say modifiers, I guess. I mean, you've got less damage over time compared to like normal, so it makes more sense for you to go into boost ratios when it comes to Contagion. But we also have access to Infection Amplifier as well as Infected Weapon, and because these add extra damage over times, and because this adds a huge chunk of additional damage, to the point of Infection Amplifier, I think does more damage per tick than some of what Contagion is actually able to do by itself. You get some real nice consistency with this build, so it's actually really good to be able to use. I would not run this in Supermassive, I would not run this in Sanctuary, I would not run this in Underwater Base, but if you are looking to do anything that's underneath that, this is fantastic at being able to actually get that done, so I would recommend that. Obviously, after that, outside of that, going for this kind of setup is going to be able to cover you for everything else. You can get some really nice times. Sanctuary's going to be a little bit on the slower side just because they actually do resist Toxic quite well. Because of the types of enemies that do spawn there. You can still get it done. It's not a problem. But you know, you know, obviously you're going to have a better time with Electric or Chill or something like that in there, but because they have high resistance to Toxic, it'll take a little bit longer in Sanctuary, but the other missions, you're absolutely fine with this kind of thing, and you still get your way through, and you still have access to increased shield, just to be able to actually put you over 8k, which is just enough to be able to actually survive with a couple of hits, so you'll be absolutely fine in that kind of aspect. But there's a few ways to be able to build Freyna, essentially. I haven't had this much fun with Bujin Yujin in such a long time. You're going to go do some breach. Ah, fair enough then. No, not a problem. Antimatter, you still up? Ajax, you still up for running Sanctuary? I take it then in that case. If there's anyone else that wants to join in, feel free to be able to grab a couple of Sanctuary runs. I'm sure we can fit you in for that kind of thing. It's not a problem. That's if anyone's in game. Going to quickly check on over in Discord, just see what's going on. It's an alright looking mod there. What we got here? Just a brief reminder, if anyone hasn't already popped over and said hi, make sure you grab and come say hi over in the Discord. I do talk over there daily. If you've got any questions about your builds, if there's any kind of like ancestor mods that I've got going spare, I mean we've got a great community on over there. You can talk with a few other people to be able to play some games, be able to sort between yourself, trigger mods, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, head yourself over there. It'd be good to see you over there, but might as well put that out there. Give you the option. Right now for the wife, but logging in soon. We see if me joining from Brazil doesn't create too much lag. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, I mean we can run through a few things, see if we can get you some mods, sort some stuff out for you, and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, absolutely. I probably will call the stream at the end of the next Wall Crusher just because it will be pushing it past midnight on my side. And I do want to do a little bit more on the script ready for this Freyna video, so but that will push it just over 3-hour mark. But I will be back live on Monday. We'll probably do the exact same thing again from 9 till 12 GMT. Like I said, we're looking to get these a little bit more common, a little bit more frequent. Just have a little bit more fun with the community and not leave it to just doing videos and all that kind of thing. So. Oh, it's been a long week. Oh, player's already in another party. I can't invite you, Parzival. Oh, might have worked now. Apparently you were in another party at some point. There we go. We'll run it from here, and if anyone else fancies joining in, absolutely, just feel free to shout up and sort something out. Do you think we'll see a dev live stream next Tuesday? When is the next big patch actually, come to think of it? Have they actually... Is there actually a bit of a roadmap out yet? March 12th. To be fair, that did ring familiar. So it won't be for... No, we won't see anything next week, surely. It'll be the week after, won't it? Yeah, you're good to go. Cool. Alright, Sanctuary. Yeah, it's usually a couple of days before, isn't it? So... Unless they plan on doing a stream the Thursday before, just to be able to kind of tease it. Unless they just make some kind of post. I think that's usually how they work, don't they? To be fair, I feel like I've been out of the loop a little bit. What's March bringing? March is bringing the change to Sharon, isn't it? Is it Sharon? New dungeons, Sharon, and new Transcendence mods for Keelan. Fair enough then. Yeah, they're gonna be wanting to show it off, aren't they? At the end of the day. They're gonna be so excited, aren't they? The fact that they're like, oh, look at this new mod that we've made, and it scales off of, I don't know, range, some kind of weird scales off of cooldown will be the craziest thing. Because they're just finding ways to be able to scale more and more damage now, aren't they? It's... Oh, we've done HP, we've done shield, we've done defense. What else could they possibly scale things off now? We've heard you don't like Keelan, so we've given him a way to buff shotguns, specifically. Increasing their shell capacity based off of your HP. And they don't realise that that's the most broken stat they could possibly boost. when it comes to shotguns. So you'll be increasing your firearm attack and your shell capacity by up to 200%. Because we've heard that people don't use shotguns anymore. I don't know. To be fair, I'm excited for the Sharon rework, because I do really enjoy Sharon. I think Sharon's great. In fact, I really love the new skin that she's been given. I genuinely think it's like one of the best skins this game's ever seen. It's absolutely up there. That's not terrible, actually. That's not terrible at all. That's actually quite a strong mod, even though the rolls don't look great with the blue and the purple. Interesting. What else could they possibly do? They go, oh, we've buffed his sword. No, honestly, if they buff shell capacity, Jesus Christ, that would be crazy. I know there's nothing for me to be able to base that on, but if they actually did go that route, that would be kind of nuts. But I'm excited to see Sharon get some love. Sharon absolutely deserves it. She was so good in the original Void Vessel. And now she just doesn't have the AoE to be able to compete with other Descendants. So if they give us something that can kind of just help her out in that kind of aspect. Boom. Let's see, a well-placed allergy actually just kind of like decimates everything. Well. I might as well not even use my sword. I might as well just focus on hitting with my allergies. Have I tried Hammer and Anvil on Serena? I'm intrigued after the video. So I've recently built my Hammer and Anvil because I must admit I kind of left it behind for a long time. Just because obviously kind of sucked originally. That being said, I'm aware that the mini rockets do proc her skill 4. I was trying to mess about with using... One second. I was trying to mess about with using Enzo with it of all characters, actually, funnily enough. Because he has a way to increase shell capacity. And I was trying to see if that was actually made it viable. And it turns out, not really. Which is what this build is here. To be fair, I'm thinking of changing that top roll to fire rate, just to see if I can make it more worthwhile. But the fact that if you swap to the special effect thing, it actually massively cuts your fire rate down, is a bit of a shame. That being said, though, yeah, it's insanely good if you can actually get it to proc. I say if you can get it to proc, of course you can. It's literally just auto detonates, but yeah, 4 is incredibly good if you've got a built-into HP. Arguably better than Restored Relic for the fact that it fires more pellets out. If you go for a full build, I think it goes as high as... Is it like 15 or 16 pellets? Maybe even higher? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's pretty damn good. But then saying that, Serena's able to use everything pretty damn well, so... It's not really a shock anymore. I must admit, the only reason I've really not made a guide covering it is I don't really like Serena's playstyle. It's a personal preference thing, but I find it to be cheap. To be that strong in every single bit of content. She literally has no reason, no business being that strong, and she absolutely should have been nerfed, but the whole player base is adamant that don't touch my Serena. It's not really a hot take either, that's the crazy part. I think everyone deep down knows that it needs to be done, but everyone's just trying to fight just to be able to try and keep hold of her as long as they can. Nope. That's not where I wanted to go. That's not a terrible roll. It's alright. Oh, minus defense. Oh. Oh dear. Maybe I take that back. There's no way to find out from here, is there? Oh, we'll keep going until it tells me can't earn anymore. I built my Serena after hearing all the hype. After all, I found her to be boring to play. Too much damage, too little effort, little to no risk. Yeah, absolutely. They made so many design errors in what Serena is. The fact is that if it wasn't for the fact you build into HP as much as you do to do such a insane amount of damage, she would have been fine. I think the flying is fun. The flying with all the different increases to weapons depending on what you actually use, absolutely fine. The fact that she can regen ammo in the air, absolutely fine. The slam build and everything like that, not really an issue. I mean, it would have been cool if it could be built into crit, but not really a huge issue or anything like that. The dashes with the instant reloads, absolutely fine. Don't see an issue with that. There's so much that's absolutely fine with what her kit is, but if it wasn't for the insane skill 4 and the fact that it's so easy to build into, there's just no build diversity in a sense, because you're just always building into HP. That's always going to be your main thing. You're always going to be building into duration. You're always going to be building into cooldown. And that's essentially all you need, because it doesn't go off skill power. So the main thing that other Descendants do to be able to, or need to build into to get the most out of them, Serena doesn't even need to do. And it doesn't need to be like that. It's crazy. Like, why is she not affected by skill power? That allows us to be able to get away with Fourth Wish. Which means that she can just have free skill cost reduction for no reason. There's a lot of things that are a bit of an odd choice. So, I don't know. It's fine, because us as a community have decided that we don't want to change, so... Yeah. Probably roll that into something better. Call it there. Full scale of HP is too cheap. You know, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you've already built into survivability. Why should you also get damage as well off the top of that? I'm online. Can I set play with you still? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've got space. So, question is, where are you up to content-wise? Because I noticed you didn't have every single Descendant. So, are you... Do you have access to Axiom planes like we do with the missions, or is that something that you've not got access to? So specifically, we're looking for these missions right here. So Supermassive and Forbidden Sanctuary. And then in about 15 minutes, we're going to have to make way for Walter to come back, just so I can get a clip of Crit Freyner, and then probably just going to call it from there. But, I mean, we've got 15 minutes. We can even run some Axiom stuff if you wanted to. Yep, Ajax left the party. That's fair enough. No worries. I mean, I don't mind helping you just by myself if you want. It's you know, let's help you grind out a little bit. Whatever, just vibing. I mean, if you got access to Axiom, we can do some stuff over there. That's fine. You have access to Axiom. Cool. Yeah, I don't mind grinding out some stuff over there for you. Got about 15 minutes, and then going to be joining Walter for Wall Crasher. So, yeah, last one and done dip. No, that's fair enough, Ajax. I appreciate you stopping by. It's been fun. A blast just getting a few done with you, so not a problem. Cool. So, if you want to add me, or if you want to send me party invite, that's the code that you need there. Just put it into there and find me. And then we can blast a few missions or something like that. And then for Monday, I will fix this stream because I think it's got something to do with my bitrate by the looks of things. So I'm gonna get that all sorted, and then yeah, we'll see what figures we're dealing with over on the Twitch side. I think going forward, probably will be pushing a little bit more on the Twitch, just purely for the fact that I do want to push for that affiliate side of things, and then once we've got affiliate, we can ease off a little bit, or we can just split it out and all that kind of thing. We could just keep people on either side. But yeah, the quicker we can get to affiliate, the better, I guess. And then we can, yeah, then we can chill on both. If you haven't caught me, if you haven't got me on both, just be able to keep an eye out for me and all that kind of thing. Over on the YouTube side, that's where you can find me. Over on Twitch, and yeah, that's, like I said, that's what we'll do go forward and all that kind of thing. We'll try and add some like extra features and stuff like that for the Twitch. There's basically a focus I kind of want to do this year, covering a little bit more on the streaming side of things. So, there we go. So any help would be absolutely appreciated. lead the way? Okay, in that case, let me swap over to... we'll go with that. And then we will go into Axion. We'll just do some crater runs for the time being. Actually, I suppose it would make more sense to do the teeth missions, wouldn't it? Even if crater is a better mission overall. Give you more rewards. And I think it gives you better shots at being able to get just random weapon parts, if I remember right. So I'll do that. Random question for everyone that's currently watching: has anyone actually given the marathon Serve Slam a bit of a go? I don't really want to go do that mission. I really don't like that mission, but we're going to do that. I don't really care for it, but go on then. Oh, we've also got the Colossus dropping in. Where are those? Oh, go on. Let's get the Colossus out of the way. Clearly can't decide what I want to do. Collect all that. Where's the other guy? Oh, have they already done it? Yeah, fair enough then. Don't mean to do that. But yeah. Grab that. Yep. There we go. I haven't had the time, but my Destiny friend said it's fun. Nice training, but fun. See, I can't say that I'm... From what I've seen of it, and admittedly I've not seen a huge amount of it or anything like that, I can't say that it's something that interests me. Like, I have my extraction shooter games that I like to play and all that kind of thing. I don't think I've got another one in me that I can also enjoy playing. Like, please, stop feeding me. Stop feeding me extraction shooters. Well, it feels like it's a weird like little mix of some people saying, oh, it's great, and others saying, oh, it's fine, nothing special. In fact, I saw the typical people on Twitter that just constantly go, oh, it's the worst game I've ever played, and of course, like, what else were they gonna say? I suppose. Well, we could probably fit one more in. And then when we've got a bit more time, like Monday, or if I'm around during the week or something like that, then get a few more runs in. Some other questions. Anyone got much on for the weekend? What's everyone's plans? Obviously, everyone's going to be playing TFT, but outside of playing TFT, what's everyone up to? Everyone's going to be rolling for double red rolls. What? Alright. No, it's not the boss yet, that's why. Yeah, well. Oh. Why not? Sand. Oh yeah, let's get to get to here. Might pop another catalyst and Frainer. Why not? What does that actually take her up to? 30 catalysts. I mean, do you need 60? Right. Zeph, I'm going to have to call it there on the party. But hope that's given you a couple of runs in things, and like I said, I will be around on Monday. If you want to be able to run a couple of things by then, absolutely. I am over in the Discord. If I do have a bit more free time, I'm more than happy to be able to help you out with a few more runs over on that as well. But yeah, feel free to drop me a message, and there's a few other people in there that will be able to help out as well. If you've got questions in the meantime, more than happy to answer over on the Discord as well. But let's swap to Craner. Are you going to accept that now? Okay. And then we'll do Wall Crusher. We'll see if we can get a clip out of this for the video. And then we'll just call it there for the night. And I can get a little bit of rest, a little bit of script done, and yeah, get ready for the weekend, I guess. Thanks for some insight on this build. Doesn't feel too great. Is that the Exploding Life by any chance? Whoop. Let's see what we can squeeze out of this. I'm not expecting I'll be able to one burst down Wall Crusher, but if I can push 3 bill, I think I'll be happy with that. Well, nice burst. Get in here. Get myself killed. See if we can squeeze one more out of it. There we go. What do we get? 2.4. I mean, still decent enough. It gets the Walter, if you're here, can you just activate the crit boost? Just so I can see what this goes to. if you wouldn't mind. Maximize skill, maximize power. Yeah, we're all good there. Absentium, spirit shield. Got my crit, got my hyper focus, got my ratios. I mean, obviously, if this went higher into the critical hit damage, it would be more. I'll take 2.4. It's fine. It's the clip's there just to be able to talk about what damage you can squeeze out of it, and obviously you can go faster if you... Well, like, you can't get any more magazine size anyway, so... but that's fine. Not a big deal. So... You mostly wanted for that. Cool. Right, I guess thank you there, Walter, for the help with the clip. Subgay, you've joined just as I'm about to actually end the stream, but I appreciate you stopping by. How are you doing? Hope your week's gone well for you. But let's just... Cool. So yeah, no, this has been a great stream. I've enjoyed it. It's been 3 hours. It's been great. Thank you all so much for stopping by. It really does mean the world to me that you've spent some time with myself on a Friday evening just to be able to stop by and watch me play a few games and interact with you all. Yeah, you know the best place to be able to catch me. I've got another video coming out soon to do with Freyna, hence the clips that we've just been trying to grab. Yeah, they'll expect that over the next day or two to be able to drop. And yeah, if you need to catch me in the meantime, I am active over on the Discord. I do have socials. You will catch those in the videos over on the YouTube side of things, but Discord is the best place to be able to grab me. I do post up on YouTube posts as well, so you can try and catch me there as well. I just kind of update you with anything that's new. But at the very least, I will be streaming again on Monday evening, all being well, as long as nothing actually comes through. But if I don't speak to you all before then, have yourselves a lovely weekend. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And yeah, keep an eye out for those videos. Until then, keep yourself safe, keep yourselves well, and I'll see you all on our next video. See ya.